Hi everyone, so today we have an election prediction between Senator Elizabeth Warren from the state of Massachusetts, and we also have Governor John Kasich from the state of Ohio. So I've been doing a couple John Kasich election predictions. We're just going to change it to like that. Okay, perfect. So starting off, actually I'm going to start off with the poll closings from Let's Talk Elections, so credit for that. So Indiana, Kentucky, South Carolina goes to John Kasich, doesn't need much explanation. Vermont goes to Elizabeth Warren, does not need much explanation. Georgia goes to Kasich. I can't see Elizabeth Warren appealing to the minority groups in Georgia as well as she needs to do. Virginia, I think that will go to Elizabeth Warren. Hillary Clinton carried the state. Elizabeth Warren probably going to do the same. I'm actually going to take out the independent so we can just... Okay. So, we start off 16 electoral votes for Senator Warren, 44 for Governor John Kasich. So, now let's go into 7:30. Ohio, his home state, goes to him. West Virginia, talking about Ohio, it's progressively become more Republican. It's his home state. He's well liked there. He's +9 in the Real Click Politics poll average. I think he will hold on to Ohio. North Carolina goes to Kasich. He has that conservative appeal by his name, and there's many conservatives in North Carolina. Elizabeth Warren, not the best to bring out African American voters. Now we go into 8 o'clock. There's a lot of results coming in from across the country. Florida, that would go to John Kasich. Elizabeth Warren is not the best at appealing to the groups in Florida. She's more of someone who can appeal to white working class. Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Missouri, and Oklahoma, all pretty much going to go to John Kasich. Pretty safe for him. Over in Illinois, this is a Democratic state. Elizabeth Warren takes Illinois. D.C., Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, the home state of Massachusetts. I think she will carry the state of New Hampshire. She is from the area. She is close to the area. I guess you could have an argument that John Kasich can appeal to the Conservatives in New Hampshire, but I think that Elizabeth Warren will hang on to New Hampshire. And in Maine, I think that all of Maine will go to Elizabeth Warren. Hillary Clinton is the only one who could have lost the 2nd district, and Trump is really the only one who could have won the 2nd district. And Warren, again, is from the northeastern area. You would include New York, maybe Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Going over to Pennsylvania, this is going to be a hotly contested state, but I think that in the end, this would be a pure toss-up. So I'm just going to put it as a pure toss-up because there's just not enough information as to who would win in the state of Pennsylvania. And I think that is it for 8 o'clock. So going into 8:30, Arkansas goes for Kasich. So right now we're at 96 for Warren, 160 for Kasich. Where can Kasich expand his lead? He can expand it across the middle of the United States. Republicans do very well in this area. Kasich, why wouldn't he be the same? Michigan is showing much more Democratic tendencies, and it's been Democratic for quite some time. Michigan goes to Warren, Wisconsin goes to Warren, and if Michigan, Wisconsin go, Minnesota goes as well. Going down to the state of New Mexico, increasing minority population, Warren wins in New Mexico. Colorado is a pure toss-up. And Arizona, I would see that going to Kasich just because he has that conservative by his name. New York goes to Elizabeth Warren. So we have 237 electoral votes for Kasich, 166 for Elizabeth Warren. Where can Kasich expand his lead? He can expand it in the state of Iowa. not necessarily the hardest thing for Kasich to do. He just needs to bring out the rural voters that voted for Trump and probably voted for probably voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary. He just needs to do that. Iowa is in his column. Sorry about that. Iowa is in his column. Montana easily goes to Kasich. Utah goes to Kasich. Nevada, I see that flipping. I think Nevada will flip over to the Republican side just because Elizabeth Warren not necessarily the best candidate the Democrats can run for bringing out minority voters in the state of Nevada. And 11 o'clock rolls around. Idaho goes to Kasich. Washington, Oregon, California, and Hawaii goes to Elizabeth Warren. So, and at 1 a.m., Alaska goes to Kasich. So, where do we start off? The two just pure toss-ups are Colorado and the state of Pennsylvania. Colorado, I see that going to John Kasich. I see that going to Senator Elizabeth Warren. I think with Colorado, it's been going Democratic for the last 3 times, and with an increased minority population, I know Elizabeth Warren might narrow the gap, but I still think she would obviously win with that minority population, and it would just be enough to put her over the top in Colorado. Now, the final state to decide the election is the state of Pennsylvania. This is really a pure toss-up, but I know I just can't leave it like that. I really don't know what way Pennsylvania will go. I think it will go to John Kasich. I've made up my mind. He will be able to bring out the same white working class voters as he won in Ohio and Iowa and North Carolina and Missouri and Kentucky and West Virginia and in Indiana. Those voters will come out and support him. So, final electoral map, 285 electoral votes for John Kasich, 253 for Senator Elizabeth Warren. Thank you for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.